let's all agree that we're here right now. Right? We're here right now. There's a lot of times that I question, like, where is presence? Like, where is it? Where do I need to be in order to be present? If I think of Torah, am I present? I'm thinking about something, right? If I think about, so the simple answer is like, wie de darfst du sein, dat darfst du sein. If you have to deal with some issues at home, then that's where you need to be present with. You have to, whatever you're doing, grocery shopping, you're being present with it, right? That I'm doing that. And van jene plaats of being present, again, this is called the post session was a minute. Van jene plaats of being present, I'm doing what I need to be doing, and then from that place to go deeper with it, you can put it on the other channel also. If I want to go deeper with it, I'm processing that I am what's get me the koach to do this action. What gives me the koach to do this action? And when you do that, when you tap into what the source of what gives me the strength to do this, you basically get out of your mind. You get out of your head, because you can't think how many times we have all these windows that are running in the back head. Yeah, there's 10 things happening at the same time. So by being present that right now I'm grocery shopping, or forget about davening is a big one. That's already, being present with davening. What happens if I don't? So by being present with that, you're going into the flow of what gives us the force of life that keeps us going. And that flow is a creative force, because Jens is the pulse, Jens is Pinug, Einig, Kesser, whatever you want to call it, that flowing through us. And that koach has a koach to create. That energy has a koach to create. It is creating, it keeps us going. So when you tap into that, you can basically create your outcome. Because every time we have something that we have an intention for, besides having the intention of what I'm doing, there is what other things are also going on at the same time in the back head. So now that when the bashafim, we create whatever, I don't want to say cripples, but that's what we create. Weak malachim. So then these are the messengers and everything, and zeneshvach. I don't have the koyach. But what if we can get into a moment of presence to get super present? This is what I'm doing right now. And by doing that, that forces me to get out of my head and get present into my heart and into my body. And then from that place, we connect to the force of creation, force that creates. That is the idea of being present. Okay. Now, when we daven, so there's a lot of ways to daven. You can be mechav on the words, think about the words. You can be make tzirufim with shemes. But we just do the most powerful way of davening. First of all, davening is avodah shebelev. It's something that works from the heart, so it can't be in the head. It has to be in the heart. Daven from the heart. So the words have a koyach. As you are mindful that right now I'm standing, and when we say Hashem, it's literally that we understand, we're acknowledging that we're standing in front of the creator of the world. And if you don't believe that, I think even Alter calls them, I don't know, koifer. I think so, yeah. In other words, if you think in your head, like, what, ich tracht jetzt doch staan in front van I don't know what that means. Like, whatever, he's billions of miles away. If you think that, then you're not a mammon. you're not believing. That's how that's how sensitive this is. In other words, you can get that crazy with it. I stand now in front of the Creator and I'm talking to him. And by doing that, we're connecting to Avram Yitzchak Yaakov. And these are the three kavim that is that force that is with you when you go shopping, grocery shopping, and you have that level of presence. So there's regular energy, there's just koich in the world, acharaim and all that, but then there is the thing that fuels, that is the channel of Avram Yitzchak Yaakov. Chesed, Gevura, and Tiferes. Chesed, Gevura, Tiferes, and that is our color, our beauty, and from there we go into the midas, and we start davening. Every ruche is connected to another midah. And the Alter Rebbe is saying here that literally that when you say Slach lana v'nike chatana, Baruch Hashem Ekene Chana Marvel Esloech V'Risofet Baruch Eslog Hashem Chashash Bracha Levatala Ela Ein Kan Shum Sofek Klal. If we're making a bracha, then you are actually making a yichud, and if you're making the bracha on something, let's say I want to eat grapes and I make a mazonis, I just made a bracha levatala. Like, it's like, what are you doing? Just killing it. So we're making 18 brachas in the Shemona Esrei. It's that real when you make the bracha that it's not a bracha levatala. Like Yilush is saying, Chanan Amar V'Selech. Baruch Hashem Rekeim Chanan, was Rachamim as Choinen, Chanina, Chanan. Because his pulse is just full of compassion, full of giving, and what happens is that how the forgiving is, how it works, it's as we're saying it, the more you believe it, the more you're tapping into it. The more real you become with that as you make the bracha, the more it activates. It's like an neshama. The more it activates, the more it creates, and the more you can get real with it. The more you can get real with it. Thank you. The more you can get real with it, the more it forgives. Okay, so let's go with that. Carbon bias is carbon bias shine is weighing sinas chinam. Sinas chinam. Matfan got the anum for no reason. Okay. Sinas chinam for no reason. Which means that we know that everything we see, everything that's happening around me is my doing, my creation, right? I created. If something is not okay in the house, something is not okay, I can blame other people, I can blame everybody, or I can just understand that I am driving that, I'm creating that. And I take responsibility. Are you going to say that what I'm thinking about success and I'm thinking about all this stuff, and it's not, why is it not happening? Why is it not manifesting? So I can blame out there, or I can simply turn inside and say, where am I still not connected? Where am I still disconnected that I'm still creating that? Not 100% outcome. The more one loves himself, the more he can love someone else. The more I love myself, the more I can love my kids. The more I can, the more I can love my kids, the more present I can be. This a little dinner. That's Chaim. Yeah, okay, that's good. So listen to this, Chaver. This is the 9 days. We all know that we're having self-hate. The question is that the Erste Chorban is going for Gileras and Shvichas Domim and all that, and it only lasted 70 years from the first to the second. For the second one, it's been going on. It was only for Sinas Chinim, and it's going on for 2,000 years already. 1900 years. Those 2,000 years. So what does it mean? Why? It doesn't fit. What's the problem? The problem is that Sinas Chinim is self-hate. We're going into a place of such a level of yichida, of oneness, that this can't be forgiven. We have to actually do it. You've been forgiven already. We have to do it. The only way out is if you're really there. You can't buy yourself in there. So as long as I still have self-hate, we all have self-hate. We all have parts of us that we don't like. How do we know? Because there's parts that you get triggered when you're out there, and there's that and the other, victim and all that. This is still from the alter take that Magayashin, but we're here to clean it, the final cleaning of this bitter heaviness, the Holocaust and all that, and even from before that, but that was the Makar Patish. So when we do something that is not everything is vibration. So when we do something, forget about when we do something. Everything is a vibration, and whatever we do, we turn on that vibration. So we are the machine, the vessel, the transmitter, and as you think, you're turning on a reaction from that place. If you feel, you're turning on a reaction from that place. If you have will, you're turning on from here, from the center, and then the fetus, and then going down to reproductive if you have desire. Now, all these have been hijacked by the gulas, which is that my feeling, my desire turned into sexual desires, my feelings turned into harsh feelings. So whatever it is, anger, it's hijacked. So if I'm under pressure, if somebody's under stress and under pressure, and he's doing an action from that place, then what you're turning on is that static, that noisy frequency, that noisy kav. In other words, if I'm like agitated, then I'm turning it on that, because it's all reacting. Everything is reacting. It's an action and a reaction. It's not like the Hindu and it's like if I put the intention, it can come out there, but that was the intention. So the zweite is in English. Getting out of gulas is by going into. You need a break with that, John. And that's why, but that's why you processing. That's fine. The process off. Because in the non-taken, we have to go into absolute silence. So whatever we are thinking, whatever we're thinking, that's what we're creating. So as long as I have self-hate, I'm going to be creating a heavy kaf, a heavy frequency. So when we say Chanon Habar V'L'Siloach or Fe'enu Hashem V'Nerafe, Rofe Choyle Ami Yisrael, how real, how serious do you mean that? How serious, how real are you about with that? That's how real you're activating. Yeah. You follow? Yeah. So Yitke and Vavke. Yitke and Vavke. The yid, the kodesh shel yid, the top piece of the yid, that's the keser. It's almost like it's just like a very thin wire that triggers transmitter. Because it's keser. Keser is divided in two. There's the top part, which is tainuk, and the lower part, which is ratzon, arif, ampen, atik, and arif. And it's so thin. It's already it's where there is mishtashea, there is tainug over there. From there comes out the desire. So that the kodesh shel yud. The yud itself is chachma. Chachma has bittul koyach ma. It has koyach to fully surrender. And when you're able to fully surrender, you can allow that very edelite, which is keser, black and white, that very thin air, Chachma can pick that up because he has bittul. He already sees what the outcome is and how it has nothing to do with him. Again, he uses everything to just be present in the moment. Right now, it's good. Because he's always an oilet. He sees that if this happens, then fine, it's probably because I need to wake up to this. And when that happens, it's probably because I needed to release that and overcome this. So he uses everything roes an oilet, and he's fully surrendered that everything is good. Then you have, well, but from that place, he still can't live. I mean, it's chachma. It's like you're basically sitting in silence, you're sitting locked up all day. You know, it's not, that's still up there. Up there, everything happened. Because it's present. The outcome is already like back, but click, it's already there. It's already there. Everything happened. 2023 already happened. It's just playing out in. So then you have the hay, which is bina. The hay's letter starts opening up. It has the spashtas, vesagos. It widens, it opens up. So it takes that very silent, that very thin frequency that we can't pick up, we can't read it. This is mispashit. It's already, Bina already starts thinking what's going on. It's the left brain. He starts making plans. He starts, thinking. There's machshava, which gives you the picture, but Bina is dissecting it. Then from that place, in other words, the hay, which is the feminine, gets pregnant with this yichud. So you have Keser as a desire, Chachma is the father, and from there goes into Bina, which is the mother, the feminine. She gets pregnant with that, and she gives birth to 6 children. And these 6 children are named Chesed, Gevura, Teferes, Netzachot, Yisrael. And she gives birth to the heart. That's where the midas are. From the heart, it goes into Yesod. Yesod collects everything, and then Malchus, which is, it goes back into the womb. So you have the Vav, the 6 kids, and then the Hay. The second Hay, which is once again Malchus. Malchus is the vessel of everything. There is a Malchus to everything. My father is a masculine to me, but he's a feminine to Kitchebrihi. So everybody has their surrender, higher and higher, and we are Malchus Datzilus, which is Knesset Yisrael. That's where we come from. Come from Malchus Datzilus, which is Knesset Yisrael, which is Shechina. Shechina is, there's Kitchebrihi Shechina. Kitchebrihi is the masculine. Not that there's two, but from where this structure starts. How he wanted to be expressed this way. So Kitchebrihi Shechina, which is Malchus Datzilus, and we are born from that. And we're the children of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And then these were the Uves, and noch given the Royim. Then the Pastach was genommen des ins gepastet. Hat uns getrunken in the midday. Mit jedem genourished, jeder eine does in the midday, and being nourished by whatever knowledge that we have was passed down. And the idea is not just that it's passed down, the idea is to wake up to it. Not how much you know. You can know the whole thing and you know nothing. You're stuck in your head. You just built yourself a bigger prison. Because now you're really stuck because you can't hear anybody. Because you know everything. Comes along a little Leslie Megar McClure Malchus. And you know, they know we know a little all of this. And we're lighting up the fire because you know where to go. You're going into the heart. So that is Knesset Yisrael Malchus. So we have the Yud K, then the Vav, the children, which goes into the Hey, which is Malchus. Malchus is a fabric that is Leslie Megar Maklum, which means that it has nothing of its own. You can plant anything in it. It has all the possibilities from within the structure of the 10 midas. You can go through Malchus earth, you can build in it, you can plant in it. So too, you can build on this, you can plant on your body, you can plant on your, it's all Adam Ke'etz Asada. There's a tree, there's animals, we too came out of the ground. It's just in us, he blew in a Ruach Chaim from inside. So what's breathing us is the centerpiece, the depth, the inner deep piece of this thing that created everything. And he just it's breathing and it keeps creating. It has the koyach of Vashafim. So we know that the problem is that Paroi Das is corrupted, so that's why the files come out corrupted. So Yud K Vav K. Yeah, Yud K Vav K. So v'lo yava be'ir nish b'Hashem shelo yikonas b'Yerushalayim shel Maila ad sheikonas b'Yerushalayim shel Mata Tchila. Eibishter schwert. As I got the Sharanga near Yerushalayim shel Maila, biz I got Taranga near Yerushalayim shel Mata first. In other words, we are moving. We have to make it happen. Yerushalayim shel Mata hainu mechinas. Yerushalayim shel Maila hainu mechinas bina. Yerushalayim shel Maila is bina. Okay. Yerushalayim shel Mata hainu mechinas hamalchus. Yerushalayim shel Mata is bechinas malchus, which is Ke'ima Kebita. You have the mother is bina, the daughter is malchus. So you have the father and the mother, Chachma Bina. You have the 6 kids, and then you have the daughter. And Abba Yosef Brata, there's an expression that the father puts the final nail into the coffin. He nails the daughter, that Malchus gets it. Because Chachma, the father, the Tata, he has bittul. He can surrender because he sees the noilet. Malchus, what? He has no outcome.
He knows the outcome. It's not a bittul.
Of course, yeah, but what do you mean? That's his texture. It's a bittul. How does he know the outcome? Because it's still so high connected that he sees everything. He's not phased by it. So it's full surrender. Yeah, that too. But I don't know if in Bina it's actually Shalom. I mean Chachma. Mine, right? So it's like actually Shalom is Hechel. That's in the Kesser. So now just listen what? Because in Chachma weiß du noch. Noch immer du auf Platz wie Achshavma. At some point, it's Kirashech Go'era and it's lights. It's fully white. There's no translation. Like what's going on? Like the Meluchim are like I become Kavoda. They're like, what's the point? What's going on over here? We have to this soon. And then Kavoda Meluchim in Malchus in the village. Darf ich das know? Well, yeah, if you know. So look a bit. So the Malchus also has. Listen to this. Listen. You have Keser. You have Chochma. Chochma is Bittul. Malchus also has that texture of Bittul. Leslie Megarma Klum. You follow how the connection is? You have the Yud K. Very good, of course. That's the beauty of it. Because he wanted here a plats. Dort oven is his good. But now he wants to be mispashed. Which means that automatically when there's a this dua kenig is dua fall. There's somebody that has to hold space for him, otherwise it's not kenig. It's vazich align, it's not melech. The melech is, in other words, the minute there's such a concept as a melech, such an energy, there is a melech, there is an am that shows up. That's created as a result to serve this king.
Is that idea also physically around that?
It's physically zoned. That's what we started off with. It's physically zoned. That's what we're going. I'm going there. It's Malchus book. So that's a good yaduk. Look, Yerushalayim Shlomayla Hayna Bechinas Bina. Egat Nishanan Nish Bashem Shloikonas Yerushalayim Shlomayla Achikonas Yerushalayim Shlomat Tchila. Which means that do is a shengishen. V'ruch lekim arachevas apnei moim. Here already happened. But it didn't happen in Malchus yet. It didn't happen down here. That's why we're still here, because it didn't happen here yet.
Because the belt is the
Yes.
So it's meant as the Kenish Lehman development act. The economy.
Right.
So that's the question of that much physically done that and Cambridge Gan here that was no idea. Can just know this was a concept and who was a consciousness.
Okay. So listen. Udum Kadman is, we are all, there is Fin Udum Kadman, there is level. This is where we're coming out from. Udum Kadman. This is what feeds us. Dort hat angeblasen the Riechbab von Ishmaschaim into Udum Kadman, in the news. Okay? And that charged us up. And fine. And we keep coming back in different shapes, different forms. As long as there's Udum Kadman, we're going to be here. And that's always going to be there. So we're always going to be here. It's just how we're going to be here. So you have Malchus is Lesle Megar Maklum. I think I was in the middle of something else. We'll go back to this. Lesle Megar Maklum, which means it has the same texture, which means that you have the ability to surrender to anything. Not everybody has that ability. The animal can't surrender to anything. You can surrender to anything. It means that you can create something from the situation. You can create your way out of it. You can create your way into it. Well, I'll get to that soon. I'm not sure. 1 second. No, in the heart, you have to surrender.
In the heart, surrender.
Yeah, the feelings. Stop. No, understood together. Okay. So, ein melech b'loyam, keser malchus. A keser is malchus. This, whoever has the crown is malchus. That's malchus. The king has the crown. That's malchus. And malchus is the keser. It's 1 and 1. So we are Knesset Yisrael, which is the malchus, the Shechina, and we are the malchus, and he's the keser. So this is where malchus and keser meet upon him, and it is happening when it's going to happen down here in Yerushalayim Shalmata, which is that we have to activate it. We have to go there. That is the sinas chinam. The more we can forgive ourselves for the sinas chinam, it's no reason hate. We're not even aware that we have the hate. It's for no reason. It's just part of the program. Judgments and so that is when the final hay is going to be healed, which is Malchus. Malchus also has the ability to speak. Yeah, like imagine we are just projecting from in the air, like there's just a train foot, and then there's a person walking, like projecting out energetically, projecting out. And it speaks also. Nothing else that is in this fabric is able to speak. Speaking, like what type of technology is that? You're not barking, you're not in a pitched voice. You're speaking words that have the courage to do different things. So that's why the Letzte Gula is this. It's lasting so long because we're not pressing from the right side. We don't know where the numbness is. There's sinas chinam. So the 9 days, the non-take is a master of. Where are you going to find the sinas chinam? You're going to find it in when you go into silence. Go into absolute silence. Even music is a distraction when you want to go into absolute silence. Everything is a distraction. Going into absolute silence, no music, nothing. By doing that, then we're able to do the Chanan Amar from a very, very present place. From absolute silence. That's where you have the best shot. We also have, we did this last year, 2 years ago, we have Yom Kippur Tishrei. You have the Tzentatuk from Tishrei is Yom Kippur. Tzentatuk is Yom Kippur. So then it's got it on Kodesh Kodeshim, the Elatatuk or the Tzentatuk? Tzentatuk, the Yom Asiri. Okay. So the Tzentatuk, got it on Kodesh Kodeshim, and Nuchdem, the next Tuk Nuchdem is God's Tuk. That's why they call it. So you have now in Chodesh Menachem Av, which is Av is Chachma, Royas HaNoilet. Yeah, Royas HaNoilet. So the Tzentatuk is the non-Tatuk up when the Nagebrach, and no hast du the Tzentatuk up verbrennt, damit es brennt. Das ist in English, yeah? So this is, huh? Final. The final destruction, which means the final building of the Beis Hamikdash Shlishi, which is that the Beis Hamikdash was just a mold that was creating an energetic field, a shape. Whatever we do over here imitates. Whatever you do from whatever place you do it from, that's what you're creating, right? So we are just you leave your trace everywhere. Yeah, the Baal walked into the shul and gesehen that Allah is here. Because wherever we go, we leave a trace. And if it's a negative trace, it's a negative trace. What we create, and again, whatever is in your life, you're creating. You're leaving that, that's what you're stamping. tick, tick, tick. You keep flashing. He flashes and we flash, and everybody starts flashing. And then there's the triangle effect where so I got to hold up on this. So then here, and it's all these laser beams holding everybody hostage. Who's going to put the weapons down first? Russia or America? I don't trust them, just you. And then you have the instigator. So everybody, now we're standing like this. And we're in low conscience. The Beis HaMikdash also created a stamp. It created, so bringt a certain structure. It's like a sandcastle. You put it in the bucket, you turn it over, and then you pick it up. And the whole thing is there. It's holding the shape. Beis HaMikdash was there, the structure, the karbunas, the yichidim, and all that. Ganz Kalis was Rovi Kimadatn or the Regel and Dramal to meet whatever was happening on each and every one of these Yom Tovim. And when it was finally, now that reality also created our reality. That was in Chomer, we were in Chomer. It created our reality. Now that you remove that, we're going into a deeper place. We're going into the electricity, to the oil of it. We're going into the reflection of that.
What if both are wrong?
1 second. All right, you're listening wrong. It can't be that I finished that and within the Zolba line, you had a question because it means that you're not processing what I'm saying.
Processing, both are wrong.
You're not feeling it. 1 second, breathe, Utam. We're walking into the Beis HaMikdash. All right, so just breathe. Who cares? Kohen Gudel, of course. Of course, Kohen Gudel. And but so it is given what's man der Kohen Gudel? The vibration of the Kohen Gudel. So that ungets in the sieben Licht, ungets in the sieben Midas, and Sarang bringt in Welt. So tap into the Kohen Gudel.
You can stay where you are.
It's in the center. 1 second.
Or you
can't stop. I'm in the middle of doing something and you're just asking questions. We're in the middle of doing something. So, yeah, if it comes out like that, that's where I'm at, no? Right? So surrendering to that created that reality. Now, once that was removed, then we're tapping into something inside. So this is the Dalad Alma Shalalucha, that's where he hangs out. Just happily said of the Halucha. Kamali is Shalucha Shabatera, Yunish Mishnah Stella Gabakulus in a Torah. Zukta do, Isi Ben Isha, Besalach Mede, Nagan, the Gibber Chayav Ishmael, Venuven Dover, the Ishtoy, Vashem Imoy, Shakalunis Lamalas Belim da Torah, Idan Nagan, Shede Lishol, Gibber. Shamar upon okay, Ishtoy, Shamar upon him Bahalacha. Honestly, if I stoy is somebody that is a righteous man, you're a stand-up guy. You hold by your word and you're doing with intention. That's all of them. So so as the saint took is when this is in Gamsa Fabrant. We're going into Kodesh Kodeshim and then the next day is God's took. The day after that. So we're doing this is our version of going into the Kodesh Kodeshim is Tisha B'Av. The dry Wochen and we know these are they're very an opportune time. There's a lot of opportunity in the dry Wochen. Yes, it's a little pulling and intense, but it's hot and the fabric of Malchus is almost see-through. You're surrounded, you're Bena Mitzarim, and it's just at this point it's just melting away. And then Tisha B'Av, you have they're breaking down, coming in, and they're burning down the Beis Hamikdash. And you have Chachma Koyach Ma, Abba Yasad Brata, which is Malchus, and our Koyach Ma and Malchus is the same way that we can surrender. You can surrender to whatever is you can surrender to, which is how, once again, how do you surrender? By being present. What does it mean being present? If I go in the supermarket and you're buying, shopping, I'm present with what I'm doing right now. As I'm being present, I tune into what am I feeling. When you're feeling, you're connecting to the koyach haruchni, the higher vibration, and that vibration that you're feeling, that is the neshama. I'm saying the soul is levels, not neshama yet, but let's just say, and you're tapping into a creative force. Yes, it is. That's what it is. So the thing that's breathing you, that's from the depth of Creator's stomach, so to speak. And you're getting present with that. That presence melts away all the other noise, everything else, because this is a higher vibration. You're feeling this high, innocence and believing in it. Because the more you believe, the more you're going to thin the air. So when I'm vibing on a high frequency, when I'm nervous, then that's what we're creating. You go into stillness, the silence, then that's what you're going to be connecting to. And you have Malchus is the Am for the Keser. And Keser in Melech B'lo Am, so we're locked in. He's the king and we're the Am. We're the people, his connect, his children. His children means that all of the machshava. First machshava, so from all machshavas. And in the 9 days Tisha B'Av is because we have this level of bittul that we can surrender. You're able to forgive yourself. You have the koyach to forgive yourself, which means that I can go to a place where I feel good. I feel the anger, I feel the resentment, and I go into a place where it aligns. Connecting to Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and then you have the Shiva Royim. Whatever the Royim is, whatever you're connected to. Breslov, Chabad, whatever it is, that's your Royim, and you're connecting, and that's your channel. And that is Tisha B'Av, and the 9 days. Want to close your eyes for a minute, maybe? A little bit of meditation. Nauseous? Question?
No.
Okay. Anybody has a question? You have a question, Muslim?
Have a question.
Okay. So let's go and just close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, relax your body, relax your chest, lean back. Lean back and let's get present to the center of the chest, center of the heart. Breathe in, bring attention to the breath. This breath that we're breathing, the air, whatever's coming in. The breath is out there. It's the machine that breeds, that decides how to process it. So everything is processing in its way. Everything breeds. The diamond also breeds. The trees breed. Animals breed. People out there breed. You breed too. What are you breeding? Flex your shoulders, just flex your neck. Flex your stomach. Feel the pulse, feel the beat, whatever the beat of the pulse is, just feel it. Bring your attention to your forehead. Just imagine your heart is fire, and that fire lights up the image of yourself. Skeletal body, translucent, see-through. This week is Shabbos Chazan. Everybody gets an image of the Beis Hamikdash. That image is your image. We are all a part of the Beis Hamikdash. We each have a letter. That's the Beis Hamikdash of fire. What it's going to look like, I don't know. But that's what they're saying. We're all getting back together. We're going to realize we're all just one organism. But we have to first forgive. When you say it, you are being forgiven. The deeper you can go with that and believe that, the deeper and a more refined vibration you will create. And that's going to become your reality. So as the Beis Hamikdash is charav and it's burning, don't take it personal. Do something about it. Bring your attention to the forehead and the top of the head. You can imagine that you can picture a letter, you can picture an ice, olive ice, you can picture your tzaddik, whatever. To help you light up your heart, your Beis Hamikdash, because once your heart is lit, that projects out, so you can see your Beis Hamikdash, you can see what you are participating, what your letter is. Remember, the davening is not understanding the words. Yes, there has to be kavanah, but those are for the people that are able to do kavanah. What about for those people that are lower? Which means that they are from higher, because the lower something is, the less expression it has. And if it has less expression, it means that it's coming from a higher place in Kesed, where there is no speech. It just is tainuk. How many are dyslexic and can't read or can't connect? So he's saying you're fire, you're coming from a place that has no expression, because if you were supposed to speak and read properly, then you would have been born that way. But since you are not, it means that you are a pure, powerful voltage of light, that all it needs is to just be, say, Shema Yisrael, listening to a song, connecting to your heart, and create fire, whichever way you can create fire. Place where somebody that is about tshuva stands, the tzaddik gomer can't reach there because he doesn't have that fire, he doesn't have that fight. He was never in Al Chazer. We're like slinking back, going back into it. And the more the stretch, the more the pull, the further you can break out. Simple math. So it's time to start building a Beis Hamikdash. As we start believing that and feeling that, that's what's going to become the reality out there. It's important to learn Hilchos Beis Hamikdash, Ausgekickt and all that, or look at the pictures, so you have an image in your head. You know what to look for. You know what to feel, what to see. And I think they have this VCR or whatever it's called, VR, that you put on the goggles and you see the whole thing. I heard that it's amazing. I have to check it out too. Gives you an idea. Gives you the image, the picture of what you're, and you can feel what you're feeling and start vibing that. And of course, it's going to be way more colorful than what it was, because this is going to be made out of light, made out of fire. What's that? Right. No. You're asking or you're saying? Andere week ook goed. That's the reality. That's the reality you start taking up. How do you feel about that? No, let's. How do you feel about that? Not the question. Does it feel to the fact that they both speak English, you and nothing? You don't see the benefit. How do you feel about it?
Well, I feel good because you was big like mentalmente. But yes, if she thought it's more here,
how do you feel? How do you feel about that the Beis Hamikdash is not, that it's not here yet? That you keep doing what? Where do you feel it? Yeah, right here, going in, it's going through. Okay, so feel it, activate it. Start projecting that. Start sending out that pulse. Feel. It's here to activate. The Chachma understands the outcome, and Malchus has the same way. Malchus also has the koyach to surrender.
But there's the question. See, I'm in Shtapacha. It's have to gear it that way.
And which way?
Plus we, yeah, kind of so I have to focus back on what it's.
Wie bist du umgekommen?
Je gevoel doen?
Yes.
Possibly for peace.
Was it kick those tiny? Was it kick those peace?
I can see and speak what's left. In order to see it.
Okay. So you're saying that it's how many percent lechtig is it? Right now, this was your lechtig.
Yes.
Yes.
0.
0%?
Yeah.
Wow. Pretty tough on you, little boy. I hear. It's probably it's got that guitar bring. By getting present. By getting present with what you're doing, find the peace in what you're doing. By doing that, you're going into connecting to the creative force, and from the creative force, that's Avram Yitzchak Yaakov. From that place, you can create. Make sense? Or we can say, you can start carrying it with Ezra. Moving pieces around. Yeah. What? No, I got try. What's the correct? Okay, so let's go like this. What I'm talking about over here now is the cloud. I'm giving you, I'm explaining the technology of how this works. How to bring it into your own personal life, then that's the avodah, how you understand it. But what I'm saying is that the way you are, that's the way you're going to create. And if my life is still not the way I want it to be, it means that I'm still not creating from the right place. And if it sounds like something that you just listened to on YouTube, I'm just repeating what the Nachman is telling us. Bri Chadasha, he talks very colorful and trippy concepts about how we're creating. And I'm trying to be as much as a tumum that I can possibly be. That same tamimas that was, had no value in the business world, but in this world, it all that matters. The more tamimas one can be, the more you can create. So that's why when we say he forgives. Otherwise, it's yesterday's Tanya. Otherwise, it's a bruchel of a like making a mazonis on a grape. Chanam Rabbi means that I'm tapping into the chanon, that thing that is a chanon, merciful. That's the right word for chanon. Chanon is like motherly love. Like mamish, like holding in your hands. Chanon hamar b'leselech, he keeps as you ask for forgiveness, which means like I'm pulling out from where I'm invested and I go into more forgiving myself, and I'm like, I'm good enough, I'm fine, and I forgive and I'll let go, and I'm going to a place that I'm feeling good, where I'm feeling compassion. You're activating that, and he gives you that back, and that separates from the thick and heavy energies. It's water right here. It is. Yeah, there's water right here. That separates from that heavy energy that was created while you were still creating from a place of static noise, when I'm still having judgments and all that. feeling sad and victim and all that. And everything that happens is here to wake us up to that where we are stuck. Everything that happens is to wake us up to that place. But I'm feeling. So Kimmel wasn't wissen, Zug der Rebbe, there's something called Chachma, which is Koyachma, is Re'es HaNoiled, therefore he can always figure out the positive in everything because he sees the outcome of everything. Any twisted situation, Koyachma has a koyach to surrender and be like, okay, I see the good in that, and he just flashes right through it. So too Malchus, once that plays out in Vavke, which is in the physical world, when it plays out in Vavke, that is us, that we also have the koyach to see the good in everything. We also have the koyach to twist everything into a positive. Remember who our Verenze Zayde is from the andere Zayde. Loven Arami. There's a reason for which Avrum Dafke gewollt in Jena Meshpucha. As my Meshpucha told me, wusig in the grosse yichas mit Lovan. Perech, like what's the yichas do? What are we talking about here? Some high functioning believed in a falsche Sachen over the Zura. I mean, whatever level it was a level. They were that powerful that was everything there was. In other words, they fully owned their koyach. That's over the Zura. He was fully present. Pari was fully present with his koyach. He had no choice but to be Pari. And you can pretend like 1 second that I got there when the Tana Nagudel. And he did his job to the end. Biz the waters moving came in biz do, and he kept going. That's how present he was. You understand? That's how present he was. You understand how present he was? Avoider, that is van avoider. Hij gaat a country, the most powerful country in the world. Power, not like, we're talking about real power. He had to sit, and all he had to do is always, he was floating. He was gonna climb it good. The point that I got in the it's a very stamp on spiel. Yeah. He was that present. And Zan economy is taking a beating from every side, every corner. And he's holding. He was holding massive space for his energy that he shouldn't he was fighting for it. He was fully present. Again, a connected motion. The Rebbe read was impulsive. Interesting. Then I was like, I didn't see the kesher, but I think now I see the kesher. I mean, I still don't see the kesher. Like, I would never have the audacity to talk about Pesach right now. But there talks about Pesach. Yeah. Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah, she does talk van de dagen. Iedereen had nog gehad. What's that? So first I'm going to cut straight to the chase. You ever been in a process? Like you did the work and you get very emotional and connected? That's the Beis HaMikdash. It's a holy place. It's very sacred. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Because if you listened, you wouldn't have an answer immediately. You would process what I'm saying. Wishes. That's why you're asking a question. So I'm saying that feeling. First, that feeling that you're feeling, that is the Beis HaMikdash. What are you asking for? What are you crying about? What are you screaming about? What do you want? What am I looking for? What are you looking for? Connection to the people that created me, connection to my kids. But what is that? What is the creative force of all that? What's behind all that? What's driving all that? Everything that I that I want to connect to. That's the Beis Hamikdash. And when the Hamikdash got Stein, which is when Insgam is a Hofstel, and we're going to understand that, then Sigat Aibigazazan, yeah, which means that you will not wake up with an anxiety. Not that you do, I'm just saying, talking general, because people do talk, so I have to make sure that people understand that it's not, we're just using data. We're using free information. Anxiety, you're going to learn how to be present. And once we are present, come on. I have to break silence. Once we are present, you'll be able to create the Leben. So God's on peace, it's on Manichas, it's on. So the bank will that. That's the bank.
Actually, Spark is down, actually, when the people Spark get in, but don't go wrong with Spark.
No, you can go as wrong as you can go as wrong. Sorry? No, it's a go as wrong. Go as wrong to go as wrong as the Heilige Rebbe Meilich in a position in the Baal Shem Tov. Nein, but that Paisach, nicht schon Pare. Pare ist aber nicht so gegangen zu Pare. Sie gehen, da war das ein Paisach.
The basics.
Yes, the olive base. Yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you before. Zou daarvan help tegen hebben? Oh, dan is dat een sport in morgen. Wat? Good, 1 second. Is gewoon kleuren voor die? Oh, dan is. Ik dacht dat
the concept of the building the actual trying to get the boards there, that is connection to whatever to God and this dorten die gewoon van dorten Mashiach en dat was een dat de building dus de met connection.
Thank you for that question. Beis Hamikdash was a training place for us that trained us to every action that we do over here creates an energy. When it's experiment from the Welt is whatever we created, that's what we're living in. That's the energy we live in. Okay? Everything is that it's almost like you're hitting up against, you're creating just in thin air. I go like this, creating. Whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm doing, I keep creating. So what created Beis Hamikdash? We created that physical and we did actions in that place, we did actions, which created an energy. That type of vibration over there with the Karbunis and the Yechidim and Sigvan, whatever was going on over there. And then that was moved away. So again, you have the Beis Hamikdash, you have kleine fensters, innerwanning and große fensters in the Rosen, which means that the light came out of the Beis Hamikdash and it came on to us. Once the Beis Hamikdash was moved away, we've been ingrained, we've been trained, and it's carved out, all the tracks have been carved out. And now the Beis Hamikdash, the physical got avek, so that forces us to light up, and we were starting to spit out whatever was put in. Whatever the light was coming here, there's 2 billion watt of light that kept coming every single day. You remove that, and now we are that light. This is the hearts van Ayid. Jede part van de Shechanurach, ja, heb te doen, dat een van de... Jede part van de gif is connected nog another tile in Beis Hamikdash. So we're a little walk in Beis Hamikdash. It's karbunas. Was bringing aseh, was bringing atam and ma'olah. What do you sacrifice? What have you sacrificed today? Atzigala, shefela, bull, ashar. Did you go into a deep process and you mamish like the Sidus Nefesh? You fully surrendered. Makrivi and afest and kar, mafest and shar. What was your machshava after you did that? What was your intention? Was it atacheshim, pigul? Intentions were pure. Okay, as gebrengt ashan the carbon. That was today. Can the morgen, but bring ich kan keluv. Go bring a dog. Keep it simple. All that was training. Now, before that, let's just go back to the beginning, just light, neshamas. We were not aware of ourselves. We needed something to activate it. So the more interaction we have, so it's like, it keeps moving. And as it moves, it has billions of strahl, and it keeps moving, and everybody has exactly with Chachma. We're talking about Chachma. Kulam b'Chachma Sisa. So there's 8 billion of these generators, of these lights that keep everybody going. 8 billion people, approximately, 16 billion eyes. Okay, so it keeps moving, and it moves in exactly where it needs to be. The Shterns, the Lavuna, the Mazulas, and then Hechir, all the where we can tap into higher than that, and as it moves, let's just slide an inch, and it has massive effect. Yedres geboren exact where it's your energy, your space, but everything is aligned exactly the way it's supposed to be. And if there's somebody that's just having, Atzikvatch the Purim, God forbid, means like his life is a little stressed out, you're holding that ankle. You're holding that, you're that beam. Surrender. Surrender, and what happens when you surrender is you're going to find your creative force. You're going to find the creative force within you, because once I surrender, I get present with what I'm doing, you tap into the force of life within you, the two sides. And if it's creating me every second, every second we're full of just molecules and all types of cells, but it's all energy. You can almost like put your hand through it. Yeah, even the bones are energy. So, easier said than done, but that's the fact. I'm just saying, that's what we want to, that's the energy body. So, if you tap into that you accept your matzav, you're tapping into the force that creates, and from that place you can create. You can create, but in the beginning it's just a little brekelig, because you're choking. You're not how much present. We're talking about, and then it's expanding. It's breaking out with love and compassion. That is the Beis Hamikdash Shlishi. The third Beis Hamikdash is going to be when we are all going to be aligned with that, wherever we need to be. Jeder eine geht Zam peace, Malchus, surrender, Tisha B'Av, verbrande Beis Hamikdash, going into Kodesh Kodashim, your Kodesh Kodashim. And when we're in that place, that is Mashiach. That's Mashiach. Mashiach is jeder eine hat sich Zam Mashiach inneweinig in him. There's levels. Asura Aluf, Masura Mayas, yes. There has to be a person. That's what they're saying. But it's the Mashiach inneweinig in me. Man Yechida. Dvaikis. Oneness. Easier said than done, but I'm just saying the program. And then you have to apply it. And then I think it's pretty easy for the guys out there, because really all you got to know is that the Eibishter is everywhere. Everything is created. Everything is Eibishter. It's simple. And every day when I have worry or doubt, I'm like, that is my klippah. And it's here to bring awareness to that chaylik of me, that it's bringing awareness that to do a higher power, to do a God of the world. Getting present with it, tapping into your creative force once again, That's what you want to focus on when we're talking about Beis Hamikdash. You want to focus on a menicha, a certain peace, that noise, that the problems are noise. It's all types of noises. It just comes out and it plays out. This noise creates then that block. It creates that image, that scenario in my business, in my work, and all that. So in the 9 days, going into stillness, activating, and then we keep going. Remember, you're just a soldier. You're just soldiers. Nobody asked me, and I asked you like what you want tomorrow. There's a job to do. I'm like, I got it, no problem, I'll do it. Who else is gonna do it? Your father? The guy that's sitting in Mizrachland? Who's gonna get the work done? Who's going to build? Who are the builders? Who got the boots? You have pain in your life? Okay. You're a soldier. Fight. Search, look, get the job done. You want to complain? Okay. You can go. You can pay somebody to listen to you complain for a few minutes. I don't do that. But saying I'm not listening. So Film en nog staat film, Ansha Mochama, Beshas Mochama Atzma, Elo Gam, Kashihida Machere, Manichant film. Meret in de Torah Zrei Afkatke, Nasa Lorak al nog is film. Ansha Mochama. Atzma Shas Mochama Atzma, Gam, Kashihida Machere, Manichant film. Like you said, go do it out there. Go help people build their Beis Hamikdash. So that is Tisha B'Av. I mean, we're going to talk about Meshura as we build up Tisha B'Av and Tisha B'Av. So how long is that with Tisha B'Av? I'm actually give them the answer to Tisha B'Av. Right? There will be more. Okay, B'Ezrat Hashem. What else? Beis Hamikdash, Tanya. All right. What's that? Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Oh, there is a Peshin.
We did it ourselves. Fear. So we made practice actually do apply to the image of him. I say sinless film, so that you can see what can use for see
Why should you hate yourself?
Yeah. The issue is maybe misaligned, so we stick align, perfect. Yes, since my line is happening when it's aligned, it's very simple. You focus on the matter. So it's very simple. The balance is very simple, and we got people around the block pattern, and the name is a self-inflicted pain. Mine, I think it's off the skin. Skin towards myself.
Very good.
But still,
All right.
You keep on sinner, well, sinner, you keep it on sinner. وانت زوج توصل مش تقدر مش حاطط الصوت استغير معي من بعض فاكتب اسمنجلش تكتب اسمنجلش قاعد تبع بسمنجلش تفشي كان عندي سمنجلش غير معي يعني قاعد بنفيت كده بسمنجلش او انه بريك انا بسمنجلش Because the value will be and help me in going again to the switch. Again, using to non position.
So you have Chenem, first of all, has the first similar words to Chanam. Anina. Chanam Amaru Shalav. You have the other side of Chenem. It's Chaim. The other side of Chenem is Chaim. What is Chaim? Mentioned Chaim. What is Chaim? Yeah, that's that. What? But what is? I want you to feel it. What is Chaim? I mentioned Chaim. It's Nishkam beauty. This is a Chaim. What is Chaim? Just feel it. Feel it right in your center of your chest. Feel Chaim. What is Chaim? Beauty is more in the midas. Chaim is more like it's very delicate. It's a hecherazach. It's a shine on the face. It's a glow. So from the sinas chinam, the other side of that, the reis hameret is chaim. You follow it? You guys connecting with that? With chinam and chaim? Yeah. You're connecting with the chaim? Chinam? You connect with the chaim? Connection with the chaim? All right, so let's go like this. Sinas chinam. So you're gonna sinas chinam. Yeah, Magaratfin, yeah, what Chenem is and all that. Chenem is that it's self-hate. I don't even know why I'm doing it, but let's go to the next one of that. Chenem is, what is on the other side of Chenem? What is the Umazef in Chenem? For nothing. The other side of that is Chaim. Because Chaim also doesn't have a translation. It also doesn't have a reason. She's not pretty, she's not in the features, just has a chaim. Erat a chaim. Nothing in particular. I can't on any shape. But there's something about him. It's chinam. That's the other side, and that is the gift of okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I think that's the radical forgiveness. What about what's all this? And then I wanted to go to how we got into the chinam, but we'll get to that in a minute.
I had to spoke with my son last night and told him if you're not gonna have Sinas Chinam on any kind of Jew, then you're gonna have Chaim by other people. That's all I know.
Can you feel where it's coming from? In the body? It's more here. A little higher than the heart. Because the heart is still can get pulled into the midas. There's still cheshbon. Here it's what? Yeah, it's closer to the very good, closer to the communication. And also it's like a chidush b'nefesh. No, chidush b'nefesh is here. This is higher. This is already an expression. Very good. Chanina, right here. Chaim. That's the sinas chinam. This is your Tisha B'Av right here. More to come, but this is first. And we'll find more language for it. Yeah, as everybody processes it, it starts terminating.
Okay.
from the headquarters. The headquarters now. It's German. Said it. Go. Wow.
It's a mind, perfect connection.
No, stop right there. 1 second. Stop right there. 1 second. Because any words, you're getting away from it. So you're saying that jeder hat in sich a certain, what's the word? Fantasy. A fantasy. Jeder hat doch seine fantasy. Seine Fantasie was mind perfect. Seine imagination was mind perfect, and that is Chaim. That's your little child. The child has Chaim. The Yingel hat Chaim. Er is kleinschig. Bis de 3, 4 nog maar zo. Bis de 6. I'm sorry. Bis de 6. What's your first memory? The first question. What's your first memory of your trauma? When I was 7 years old. Usually 90% is 7, 6, 7, 8. That was verliezen de Chaim. That's a trauma. They're going into a different. This is the verliezen de Chaim, and the parents start communicating with them in a different way. That's the first trauma that you receive. Stimmt? Stimmt? Huh? Yes. What's that? Perfect, exactly. Ze hebben nog als kinderische, feminine, leeft. So imagine.
Go back to your feelings, you feel of the airport map on the floor. Also again, airport map.
Yes.
That's fantasy land. Go
Yeah.
back to the feeling.
But this is right there. It's important because that's where the trauma happens, right? 7 years old, and you see now something shifts in the kid. He's not, they don't have that thing anymore. I guess it's the innocence, or they're going into life. The first, disappointment in school, and the teacher is somebody that brings their negativity into school, and the kid picks it up, or we have enough of it going around in the house, and the kid becomes mindful of it. That is the Chaim. Your fantasy. That's the Bais Hamikdash. It's a fantasy.
There's a machloket between 5 and 7 years. I can kick that in the world. Ik ga hier van 7 years back to this. The machloket is 5 to 7.
Was I kicked in the Velziksta?
Till 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
Go on very long. I will not
And it's a very good pattern by Intel over, because if I walk on we can only give what we give. So if there was a restriction from my childhood, or projection, there's also a restriction.
You can't get what you don't have.
Okay. Or project. My topic came down there. Very good, but now you're projecting that. Instead of restricting, you're projecting. So either way, you're going to mess with the machine. But what it is that age of another. Surrender.
I have a 22-year-old and a 5-year-old. So my 22 is completely different language than my 5-year-old. Because I am different. I talk to him a different language.
What he did, he's open.
He's let me try to talk to me. He's different than anybody.
All right. Any questions on this? Everyone understand what Amina, and this is the 9 days. Can I answer your question? What? Yes. The kind is finding what's really pressing me? What's the sin? What's the hate? What's the resentment that I feel? The resentment is that I have a certain fantasy in me, and you're not seeing it in that place. It's too harsh. When I was a kid, I wanted to express my fantasy, and I would shut down. I had an imagination, I was told to be quiet, or I wasn't even seeing. So I create a certain hate, a certain sin, a certain resentment. But this is a little more thinner. This is not a hate, it's more in the middle. This is more refined. There's a certain, like Sivit stuff in chest. They're just hovering there. Hovering is the right word. Not perfect. Go back into your childish innocence to the pain.
Somebody thinks, it's probably fantasy.
Can I ask a question? When they created the computer, imagine it comes down in office, and it comes down, so they fix the today, that's the today, and the fix that in grace of the activation. Mr. Khalata had a thought, had a fantasy, imagination. I want to open this thing that's gonna have these windows, they're gonna pop, you're gonna click on it, and then you go to touch it, and they look at you, and they're like, they're gonna have colors too. It's a childish fantasy. Any commercial you're going to watch, you're gonna say like, how drunk were they when they did it? Like, how do you do this in a serious place? Like, you actually come in and you do this, you make it so crazy like that. And this is what people watch. It's a childish imagination. It's being very childish. And when you are childish, that's what it creates. It captivates. To fit in the rigidness, etc. But this brings out, that action brings out that reaction. So your fantasy is what it's all about. And when we're gonna have the softness and the pain to act on my fantasy, what is the fantasy? To sit on the floor, play with my kids? I mean, or to, you know, what's the fantasy? I'm talking about the fantasy that is so not accepted. Fantasy that you like to just my imagination. What's the fantasy? No? Okay, fine.
The fantasy is just mine.
There's something there, just to really be there.
Exactly.
So the fantasy is my imagination box. Basic skin around.
Okay, some things may take a minute to happen. Some things may take a minute.
Fantasy is veel langer zo'n pain dan ik gedaan heb. Maar ik bedoel, point is point is dan.
The point is around that, that's what you're saying.
It's the point is fantasy.
The fantasy is right here. The fantasy is done. This is the fantasy right here.
Let's see that vision.
Now again, you want to fantasize about stuff that matters. Of course. You want to immerse yourself in high content stuff and start going into that area. Whatever that means to you, whatever steps you gotta take together. My fantasies are different than your fantasies. So that is the yeah, but then yes, sitting doing this is part of something that gets for brain. It's talking about high conscious stuff. That's a fantasy. And you're here, you're doing it. So doing something that has some, it takes up some space in your reality. Otherwise you wouldn't. Make sense? Listen, healing is all with love. So, בדבר הזה אין לכם מאמין למשל מלככם. Here, listen to this. Let me just go like this. This stuff is real. This is the truth. And this is where we're heading. The only questions that we're having is now is, how do I do that? Not if. Question is not if. I'm telling you for a fact, it's not if. The fact. The fact is that Mashiach is in the process of evolution, is here, says the Evan. The fact is that there is going to be a third English, and there is a high conscience place that we're just going to be vibing. I mean, you want to try, I can give you my closest thing to that. You come here sukkahs, and you go through certain parts of the Yom, and that's a feeling of this English. You get into a sikkah where there's sitting there guys cramped in and it's pouring rain and the zits in the thing and they're just sharing stories and talking and doing their thing, laughing and screaming. or Fabraining, deep Fabraining, having, conversation. That is a hub, that's a cell that is channeling this in English energy. And there's nothing more exciting than that. Or 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, when you have thousands of people that have massive facilities in their head, massive prayer, massive consciousness. They understand the heat of this and uplift them, they're working, they live it, they breathe it, and they're here dancing all night. They're being, brought here from Israel. In order to win a trip, you have to know the whole Tommy about them, you have to know an X amount of amount, and they come here, somebody pays for the ticket. And they get to be in for a month. So these are, cheder. Pretty much every Kabbalah gather, they're sitting in the city. Who doesn't want to learn the city? Who doesn't want to learn, our way of who we are, what's going on with the real? If it's some guy coming from the Amazon, everybody gets all excited. This is the story. This is the word and the energy behind and front of everything that's going on over there. This is the fantasy. So that is a fact. These things are fact. The question is just how we're going to, how do I get there? Where am I stuck? What do I need to see? So instead of focusing on where I'm stuck and asking the questions of why, just go into the feeling. Whistle. Bypass the whole system, at least for 3 or 4 hours. Bypass everything. Government, Daisy? Yeah, I'll link to that. Yeah. So that is
This is dominant.
Question only how.
This is dominant.
is that what?
This is dominant.
It's
So-
depends, right? But make it do.
Yes, so sickness, you can experience that. If you go into, there's a sickness there actually next to the back of the tool, there is just a strong vibe over there. What in the regular showers? During the day, there's just different things happening, and everything is like, you have talking, drinking, drunk, learning, davening, laughing, eating, talking loud. Just everybody understands that there's a higher power, there's something else, that they're all here for the same thing. There's this obvious, we all have one thing in mind. We all understand, this is the energy of it, they're all connected to. So, one piece over here. Here it talks about reminding them everything we went through up in the midway. And it is between Kasha Yisa Ishas Benoy. Bukova Derech Asher Allah Abat Kadamot Mazeh. So there you are Tata Shuzan Kim. Till this present place, right here, right now. Because he promised in within, we still don't believe in Evish Delegation. Because she must be like he does talk of the bring us into the one, but forget it. This is like really talking to us. It's almost like, hey, what do you want from me? You want me to believe what? I mean, it's not like talking like we're like generational domesticated animals. playing in a circle. So he's saying, at night, there is fire to show you the way. When it's dark and you can't see, you're feeling the anger, the heaviness in the heart, the anger, the anger. That's there to light up the way for you. Tapping into Malchus, finding the message in it. You have the ability to do that because you have choice. Choice is you can choose a better day tomorrow. Tapping into the force of creation. That's at night when it's dark. If we're on Yom, and when it's lifted, just be present with that. That too, we don't need to constantly go back to the fire to bring a good day. I don't need to always get myself into a stressful situation so I can get myself out of it, because my existence is that if it's too peaceful, then something is gonna, when is the next shoe gonna drop? It's each still. So I'm gonna recreate quickly some noise in my life so I can stay grounded. Otherwise I don't know how to process. Fire. Keep doing it. Okay. So there's the spiel for the 9 days. And Tisha B'Av, that I often night of the Shlevish, the third is of, Menachem of, Chokma, Father, Abba Yosef Brata. You can connect to that level of surrender by simply bypassing the whole spiel. Instead of going from Chokma to Bima and doubts and into the heart, and from the heart giving birth to the Rex Nibbles, now you have to deal with all your stories, all the pain, and you're right and you're wrong, then giving birth to it in your soil, and then if it doesn't get painted off in your soil, it can just go completely south by the time you make it down to yourself with all that work. And then what comes out is something completely crooked and twisted, and we're back to square one. Hoffman, Abba Yosef Brata. I get it, I understand, I surrender, I want to just be connected, feeling. And with the davening, what I wanted to say is that I'm not even understanding the words, but the words are bouncing off you, it's making you feel. The words are just there to light up the fire, to what am I feeling when I'm davening, feeling the connection. Becoming present that I'm wearing my film. Just be present with that you're wearing your film. I just wanna real quick here, lay over here like this. Somebody leave the chat, like, I don't get it. When somebody leave, like how? Like, no, like how angry do you have to be to leave? Like, I will have off, like, what's with this? But a sponsorship do that. No, good. The one with them. Oh, there's a shit room, there's a sponsor, but Marami cross on the wrong chat, okay. Okay, so we have the sponsor for tonight is Abba Motkab and Kalcha Kamela. Wow. Adam. Yeah. Okay. Shira Nami Brata Basara. Zalman, Chamushka, Shana Simon, Chana Pega, Yosef, Israel, Shalom Dovir, Menucha Liba, Samach Ayam Leib. Okay, well, Hashem, thank you, brother. And then we have for the other thing that, the sponsors, I gotta ask them if they want to be mentioned. So the ones that I know for sure have no problem. But please, the weird piece, right? We have Shimei Halpern, Marcus Thompson, Larry Leifert, and Ed Greenberg. giving just the confidence that this thinking can be going, and no, wrong words, continue going. It's going to continue going. I'm wrong. So making it to, validating the work and also creating, by being a part of it, it gives more energy, quick, and as the Rebbe starts over for bringing this week, Ram Shefin. Yeah, this is much more sport I'm bringing a lot now. Okay. Huh? Oh, migrating a lot? That sounds cool. Wow, so it's kind of what we're doing. Okay. Er gegangen, eventually zusammen, ne? Ja. Okay. Also, die typische Beschwörung wird ziemlich wie es in den Hangar, das Ziel der Bibel Israel. Shabbos Chazan. Bei in jetzt die Malach Machal Lippel so ist die, es war so kein Spezifik. Wenn man einen Tag so Lippel wird Malach Machal, the Paul of this is one of the activities in the So you said, a Hasidish of the was a Hasidish of brain can often come Malach Machal Mishoften. What a Hasidish of a brain can do, Malach Machal cannot do. Which means that he is a messenger. We are a part of the spirit, of the guy, of the thing that's in. So if a brain, when you're sitting here, you're having this intention, you're looking in and you're connecting to this powerful outcome and bringing brachas and feeds for all the people that prefer the response of the ocean. And from there, just connecting and releasing, letting go of the want, letting go of the restriction. Because it is valid, it's not just what I'm saying. I was like looking, I was gonna do a minor, and then I'm like, I don't know. So there's a lot of things. I still want to do it because I'm not, but it's getting late. Okay. You should write to Muhammad to be the third Salaf Makhid wa Hamsuf la After the Beedham Common can go by it. I've been in Shabbala the Element. Silver Lobby. The third which position was still Hashem as well. And it was a next minute after Hashem as well. All of the Nisa Laser Element. I think I did what I see. Yeah, understood? Understood. That whoever wants to Mamshas on the Eid of Torah. This is what Mamshas on the Eid of Torah. Dat koorden Mamshas on of zich of dan laatst met de dieren gaan met Kigat La'ish. Dat brengen of zich dan de dieren van gaan ijs, so deze huis te koorden. En de dibber komt van de hart, de lever alien. Want zelf wish we zien dat Philip has in the Baruch and then to Lavavi, and from that place you have to be always in the house when the daven, which means anything is a film. Anytime I'm in a bringing a session, it's all a film. You're all davening. You're just holding somebody else's holding space so you can best daven. That's the best old in the time. While they the philosophy nicht mehr Rachman Shem Zvarach Olet, and dort the davenen is where nicht mehr resolution from to the womb. She macht the call. The metaphor, the macht the call. And the womb creates Arach Hashem Zbarach Olet, Kimperuk Rachmunis from the Chanon, Kimperuk, okay, Venit the Pleva Alien. The Iker Rachman who believe. Manish from the Pleva Alien, the Bidim, or the Bibir Mamshah, the Iratere Gamkin Misham. Although I know we're going to sell Misham Adibir, in other words, you're like a rock, and from that Kimperuk the Bibir. And by pouring your heart out, that's when you activate Rachman from the Pleva Alien.
This is the cheshbon from the mountain. This is why not? Yeah. Shiva is no Zubi, this gets me. I will done that.
I'll give you, I think that the simple one is what I was looking that this is also the element that comes from not the hidden measure. But you got on over the same ended, the same spirit. Often then adopt that we take not the mouth of the same. We usually deal only the 6 and 7, so those are the measures that are affected immediately. Often then adopt is out of play. But this time it's fully, we're going into Kodesh Kodashim. So even Kodesh Kodashim is inclusive. Kodesh Kodashim is inclusive. So we're going in with all the same rules. Yeah, and then nothing, not the last minute, not for the tree, not middle, line. Well, there's no, but,